And today we will learn about the topic functions in more detail. And our today's topic will be that suppose we want to write a function that can accept any number of parameters or multiple number of parameters or arguments. Okay, so if we want to write a function that can accept any number of arguments. Okay, so this is our today's video's topic. So now let us start with the program. So at first we define a function by the word def, and suppose we name it as demo, and then it comes the parenthesis. Okay, so let us leave it like this now. And if we suppose we need to call some function, we need to call this function. So we call this function by giving some arguments. Suppose first we give a empty one, and in the second case we give some arguments such as 1. In the third one 1 comma 2, and then in the fourth one 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma suppose hello. So hello is a heterogeneous data type. So what is the way by that we can accept multiple number of arguments? So we can accept multiple number of arguments by using star args. Okay, so define demo, then in the under parenthesis star args, and then in the next line we can print the args or the argument. Okay, so if we run this code now, so let us run the code. So we go to the file and then we right click, and then we go to reveal in file explorer, and then here we change the path to cmd. We type cmd, then we enter. So our command prompt is open. Okay, so now let us run the code. So python args dot p1. So when we are running that program, then we are getting the output as first it has returned no, then it has returned 1, then 1 comma 2, and 1 comma 3, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma hello. So it has returned this output. Okay, so actually the star in the star args, it means that the star is actually meant to accept any number of arguments and then pack them into a tuple. Okay, so the star is meant to accept any number of arguments and them pack them into a tuple. So let me comment this line. So comment this line. Okay, so the use of star is to accept any number of arguments and then it packs it into a tuple. Okay, so we have now understand this logic. So now if we go to the next step, then so tuple is a data type that can handle heterogeneous data type. Okay, so this is the way of packing. Okay, now if we go to the unpacking, Okay, so now if we unpack, then we know that tuple has indexing. Tuple is a data type that has indexing. So what we can do is that we can actually print the argument. Okay, we can use indexing here. So we can actually print by index. That is, suppose we do for it for 0. Okay, so if we do it for 0 and then if we run the program, so what output we will get? So now if we run it, so suppose I run it, so it is giving an error. Okay, so it is giving that tuple index out of range. Okay, so it is giving the error because in the first when I have called the function, I have given no value here, so it is giving the error. Okay, so if we comment it, so suppose I comment it. Okay, so if I comment this now again, if I run it, then it is showing that 0 index, that is it is 1 1 1, that is it is showing. For this one, it is showing 1, which is at the 0 index, and for the second one also it is showing 1, which is at the 0 index, and also for the third one it is showing 1, which is in the 0th index. Okay, so now it is working. So only I had to comment out this one because it had no arguments, so it was giving out the error. Okay, so till this part we are done. Okay, so same thing will work if we do, suppose, print args1. Okay, so if we do it and then we again run the code, then we need to actually comment out this one also. Okay, because it does not has, it has only demo 1. It does not have anything in the first position, it has only in the 0th index. So if we comment it, suppose if we comment it and then we again run the code, so now we are getting 2 and 2. Okay, so it is giving for the one, for the first position or for the first index, 2 and 2 it is giving. So for this line it is giving 2, which is in the second index, and for this line it is again giving us 2, which is in the second index. Okay, okay, so we are done with this. So now we go to the next part. Suppose we need to calculate the sum of the arguments, okay, that we have called in the function. So what we can do, we can simply, suppose we need to take out the sum of, suppose we need to work with this line demo 1 comma 2. Okay, so we need to bring the sum of the numbers, that is 1 comma 2. So let us first comment this line. Okay, so we need to print the sum of the two numbers. Okay, so the output will be 1 and 2, it will be 3. So how we will do that? We can simply do it with the help of the indexing, that is it is arg0 and it is arg1. So arg0, here we will do it as arg0 and then we will add with args1. Okay, so arg0 plus args1, so it will print 1 and 2, it will print as 3. Now let us run the code. Okay, so if we run the code, it is printing as 3. Okay, so it has performed the addition by using the indexing in the args. Okay, now let us see that how the len function actually works. Okay, how we can find the length. So we can find the length simply by typing or using the function len, so which is actually len and then args. Okay, so we have used it. So now suppose we call a few more arguments such as 1 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Okay, so let us now run this code. We have used len bracket args. Now if we run the code, then it is showing as 5. So the length is 5, as it contains actually 5 arguments, that is 1 2 3 4 5. So the length is showing as 5. Okay, so we are done with the length. So now suppose we have a long set of arguments. Okay, so suppose we have till 6 and now we need to find the sum. of all the arguments. So for each step actually we cannot write that. So for each performing the each step in the addition, we cannot write as suppose args 0 plus args 1, like this. For each step we cannot write. Okay, so what we need to do is that we need to run a loop here. So how we can do it, how we can perform it? Suppose we need to find the sum of the this function that we have called. Okay, so first we need to we have written this, the define demo star args. Then in the second line we need to initialize the sum to suppose 0. Okay, because the sum is 0 initially. then then we will write a for loop. We will use a for loop. So the syntax for the for loop is for I in range and then bracket. It starts with a start index, then comma end index. Okay, so suppose we will start from the 0th index. Okay, that is 1. So we start with the 0th index. Okay, and then the first index is 0, or the start index is 0, and then the end index, suppose we are giving it as len bracket args. Okay, so what is len args? The length of the args, that is, it has 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. So actually it has 6. Okay, so the start index is 0 and the end index is len args, that is 6 here. So we are getting the len args value as 6. So the for loop will run from 0 to index 0 to index 6. That is, it will give the output till index 5. Okay. So and the actual indexing actually works as the 1 it is in 0th position. Okay. The 2 is in first index. The 3 is in second index. The 4th is in third index. And the 5th is in the 5 is in the 4th index, and the 6 is in the 5th index. Okay. So it will run till the 5th index only. So we have used the for loop like this. Okay. Now what we have to do is that in the next line we need to calculate the, after the indentation we need to calculate the sum. So sum equal to sum plus, that is, args or args in bracket I. Okay, this sum is the initialized sum, that is 0, and this is args I, that is the index or the arguments that is present in the args. And then in the next step we come out of the loop and then we print. What we will print? We will print the sum. Okay, so we have printed the sum here. Now we have written the program, and now it should print the sum of all the arguments. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now let us run this code. Okay, so if we run this code, it is printing as 21. So let us cross check it. Okay, so 6 plus 5 is 11, 11, 4, 15, 3, 18, then 20, 21. So it is printing the right output. Okay, it is giving the sum of the arguments. It is giving us 21. Okay, I hope it is clear. So now let us go to the next topic. Suppose we need to print the sum of only even numbers. Now what we can do? So if we need to print the sum of only even numbers among these arguments, so we just need to make one change. After the for loop, we are to use the if condition, that is if. Okay, and then inside the if we will use that if args bracket I modulus 2 equal to 0. If this is the condition, then after if always there is an indentation. So we will use this line, the same line, sum equal to sum plus rci, and that's after indentation. Okay. So after indentation, I have used this line. The only change I have made is that I have used the if condition in which there is args I modulus 2 equal to 0, which is the condition for an even number. Okay. So now if we run the code, So the even numbers are 2, 4, 6. Okay, so sum are the sum of the even numbers is 6 plus 4, 10, and then 12. So if we run this code now, what we will get is that we are getting 12. We are getting 12. Okay. So we are getting the correct output. So this was all for today's video. Thank you everyone.